All right, so we'll get started with this. So I've got on my screen, this is Office 2016 or Outlook 2016 for Mac. Just to navigate, show you the navigation, we've got a menu at the top. We've also got this ribbon with various tabs. So you'll find commands in the ribbon. Of course, we've got a reading pane on the right here. So whichever email message you've selected, you can read or preview on the right. On the left, we've got my inbox, and I can actually add more than one account if I want to. Right now I've got my TCU account, but if you go up to Tools and Accounts, you can actually add accounts like I could try to add my Gmail account or Hotmail or something like that. So I'm not going to do that right now, but you can have more than one mailbox showing up here. So right now, you can see I have the new messages that have not been read are marked with the dot. And there's also some other items, some other icons that you'll see here. Especially noticeable is the paperclip, which indicates there's an attachment. And then, for instance, this one, if I can just delete, there's a little trash can right here, and I can delete it right there. Also, if you don't really like to see this reading view, you can definitely double click and open the message in a full window. Make it a little bigger. So right now, just show you a few commands here to get going. I like to set up my screen and change the view settings, things like that. So a good place to go when you're starting to use Outlook is the Organize button. You can turn on or off this reading pane on the right. Now I can just see all of my messages. Also, I'll turn that back on. The message preview, it shows you, instead of just who it's from and the subject, if you turn on message preview, you see the first part of the text of the message. So you get a little preview of what's in the message if you turn that on. So again, this is under the Organize tab. Things like conversations, it will take, let me see, I had a conversation with, it'll show you all your conversations together. So if you're having a conversation with a person, instead of, it'll show you all of your messages in that conversation instead of just messages by the date. So I'm going to turn that off. That's not a very good example, but I do have my messages arranged by date, and you can change that arrangement. Maybe you don't want to know, don't want them in order by date set. Maybe you want to see who they're from. So you can change that, and you can see in alphabetical order. I've got some messages here by order of who sent the messages. So you can make some changes like that. Date received is usually where we start out. So again, the Organize tab has lots of useful commands for you to use. And back on the Home tab, same thing. The Home tab has the most used commands, the most frequently used. So a delete button, here's where you reply and forward. You can attach things, junk mail. Let me show you just like, let's see here. When I'm reading my mail, sometimes mail goes into the junk email folder. Over here on the left, I'll grab that. The junk email. So this junk email from Cengage, well, it's not really junk email. So you can mark it. There's a place up here where it says junk, and I can say this is not junk, and it will move it automatically to my inbox. Now this is junk, so I can say keep it in junk, or I can even block the sender. I'll just call it junk, so it stays in my junk email folder. But the junk email, it tries to grab emails that they hope you don't want, but sometimes things get stuck in there. So you really do need to look at these and then go and delete the ones you don't want. There may be some you need to move back to the inbox. So I'm looking for that Cengage. Here it is, Cengage. This is advertisement, but I like to read these. So when you're you can mark things for junk and unmark them for junk, and by going to the junk email folder. Also, some people really like the flag, the follow-up flag. So here's something I would like to follow up on, this announcement. So I'm going to click the flag button, and I can go up to the menu and say, let's flag that for tomorrow. And I want to add a reminder. Say tomorrow at, let's do, oops, I changed that. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. to remind myself finish this little task. So it will come up with a reminder to let me know I need to finish that task. So when you flag something, it has a nice red marker there that you can see very quickly. So those are some of the main things people use. Of course, when you click at new email, you can just type in someone's name, and hopefully they'll find it. Your computer will find it in your contacts, or you can use the address book and start searching. Let me see if I get, there's another one. So I opened his contacts. So I want to send this to Michael also. I have to select his name, and I'll put this in the to field. Then I can close my search box. I can also change my mind and just send it to Rebecca. So I'll do that. This is a test message. And if you need to attach files, there's this paperclip attach file command. I'm going to just attach a picture. I have something in my documents. Here's a TCU frog. And I will send this to Rebecca. Here is your frog picture. Send. So if you've been using Outlook 2011, this probably isn't very different for you, but it does have a different look and feel with this ribbon and the new colors and things like that. To to move around between mail and calendar and contacts, there is calendar button down on the bottom here, the bottom left corner of your screen. So you can make new appointments, new meetings. I'll create a meeting for you. Let's do a weekly meeting. All this test so that Rebecca knows that I'm just sending a test here. Subject. Oh, see, I put that in the wrong place. Subject test weekly meeting location. And we'll make it from 2:30 to 3, and we can turn on the recurrence and make it every week on Tuesday. And give it an end by a certain date. So I'll go ahead and just leave this as it is and hit OK. Oh, the recurrence, sorry. Recurrence power every week. We want every week on Tuesday, start 6:20, end 12:20, or let's just turn off the end date. This should work. Now I can send it to Rebecca, but I might not know if she is free during that time. So if you turn on the scheduling, if you click on the scheduling icon, I can add Rebecca down here, and I will see her calendar. Showing me anything? She may not have anything on her calendar. Doesn't look like she has anything on her calendar right now. So, in her calendar, in my calendar, you can see the event titles, but when you look at other people, when you add other people, here's my boss, Joshua. Don't see the name of the event, but you do see when they're busy. So you can see on this Tuesday he's busy. You know, maybe I want to move it to the next day. I can do that. I can move this to 1 o'clock, 1 to 1:30 on Wednesday, and hopefully the next few Wednesdays they'll be available. So I will go back to the appointment. I can add some more things, and I can click send. I'm going to take Joshua off for now. And so I've just set up a recurring meeting, and it's today at 1:30, and it's every week. Right now I'm looking at the day view, but there's a work week view, and you can use these buttons to go week to week. I also like the fact I can see a full calendar on the left here, and you can make it so you can see 1 month or 2. So it's pretty easy. I'll click over here on July 11th and jump to that day. It says happy birthday to me. Anyway, you can jump around real quickly, move to different days. So that's a little bit about the calendars. There's also a contact list in here. They call this people, but basically you can create contacts with phone numbers and addresses and email addresses, things like that. So there's new contact and there's new contact group. So I can create a group if I want. Add people. See, I'm using Rebecca as my tester today. So I can add people to my group and save this. One thing occurs when you want to add a new contact group. If this icon is grayed out, you have to turn on a feature. If you go to Outlook and Preferences, it's under the General setting, and you have to turn this, if it has Hide on My Computer Folders, if that is checked, you have to uncheck it. And that will enable you to create new contact groups. So if you have a problem with that, you just have to go into Outlook Preferences. And there's some more preferences here. Notifications, for when new messages come in, you can bounce the icon on the dock down here, or show an alert, different things like that. Play a sound. There's all kinds of things in here. Autocorrect, turn that on and off. Signature file. I created a signature file for myself, and I can have more than one. So take a look at the Outlook preferences to change some of your settings. So this is just an overview for you. I'd like to know, do you have any questions? Be sure and let me know if you have any questions. I can answer for you or show you an example here. We're starting to well, we've done this for a couple months. We've had the newest Mac operating system called Sierra, and as we upgrade people to Sierra, we also have Office 2016 as part of the upgrade. And so that's what this Outlook 2016, it looks a little different from the old Outlook 2011. So that's a little bit of an overview. Do you have any questions? If not, thanks for attending. Oh, looks like we have Jamie joined us. Thanks for signing in, Jamie. We just finished, so you can always come back and watch this webinar again. I have the webinars recorded, and you can view them at, I'm going to type in the it.tcu.edu/tech-tuesday is the web page. You can view pre-recorded webinars, some of the previous webinars we've had. So thanks for joining me, and I will sign off now. Join us next. The next one will be on July 11th, the next webinar. Have a good afternoon. Go Frogs!